We are in the darkest period in American history since 1860. I think that's driving a lot of why we're here tonight and why the Nutra Dems and Dem chapters throughout the country are so active. And it's part energy, but it's part fear. We got an imperial presidency flexing unconstitutional powers. We've got a judiciary that is holding, but it's led by sympathetic ideologues. And the ruling party has abdicated its first responsibility of democracy. The one organization that can halt that decline is marinating in our own self-doubt. And let's acknowledge a harder truth. The Democratic Party, many in it, remains tethered in so many ways to the politics of the past. Democratic leaders have been just too interested and too impressed, even too scandalized, by what other Democratic leaders think, and not interested enough in what voters feel. And so it's not a surprise that voters are yearning for something new. Voters are looking for the next generation of Democratic leadership who will bring energy and urgency to this fight. It's not enough anymore just to be policymakers. We need to be organizers, advocates, communicators who recognize the power of our voice to change the story that's being told about us and what we can do for people. And we should expect little or nothing from Washington in coming years, if we're lucky. Action has moved decisively to the states. And here in Illinois, we've dug ourselves out from decades of financial mismanagement. And with the leadership of Governor Pritzker, President Harmon, Speaker Welch, we have a golden generational opportunity to reimagine state government for good. Illinois Democrats should become obsessed with policy outcomes, not just policy process. If we're the party that governs, let's make sure that government is exceptional. Let's not feel content with passing good laws. Let's celebrate good laws when they help real people solve real problems. We shouldn't be afraid of the issues. Democrats should run towards the issues. We should make safety a democratic issue. This means protecting our neighbors from tyrants in Washington, D.C. It means protecting safe access to healthcare and the most intimate personal decisions that a family and a household makes with the safety of a doctor. It means protecting LGBTQ plus loved ones and repairing a justice system that all too often ruins lives, making everybody less safe. Safety means our kids in schools and synagogues being safe from the devastating casual access to guns in this country. Safety from the mental health crises that are ravaging so many of our young people. Safety is the unequivocal rejection of anti-Semitism in this country, that plague that is so endemic to America and the West and undermines multicultural societies. Safety is a space for tolerance and a bias towards love between races and communities and nationalities and religious groups. Safety is a foundational promise on which progress can build. And look, we got to prove that Illinois can grow again. We've got to bring down the cost of housing by building more of it. We've got to keep low the cost of energy and keep our green agenda and ambitions intact by investing in batteries and transmission wires. In Illinois, Democrats can prove to the nation that we reject the false choice between prosperity and fairness, between a good economy and a growing economy. In Illinois, Democrats are going to show the nation that we can do both. And at a time when the nation is led by breakers and is broken itself, here in Illinois, we're going to be builders. The advice that I'd share with Democrats right now, this year, is that fortune favors the bold. And nobody likes the guy who doesn't take his own advice. So with equal measures of humility and excitement and conviction, I'm delighted to share with you, my friends, this evening, tonight, that tomorrow morning, I'll be announcing my bid for the state Senate. Now, I realize many of you know me from our organizing work together and our political work together. So forgive me, this won't take long. Please let me reintroduce myself. I was born in Evanston, raised in Northbrook, one of 4 kids by a single mom when my dad passed when I was 9. We had every benefit of a public system, public schools, public libraries, public parks. We terrorized the public streets on our bikes late at night. And with a heroic mom and with a public system, my childhood and our way of life was possible. I spent a decade in Washington, D.C., and then Hong Kong, where I helped build a firm and manage a pipeline of about $1 billion in cross-border transactions. I came home and earned graduate degrees in public policy and business from the University of Chicago. I was recruited to management consulting, and when COVID struck, I served 2 state governors and a transit agency to help them innovate government and save lives. Meanwhile, I fell in love with a brilliant entrepreneur from across the sea. Somehow I convinced Jess to move to Chicago, which on nights like these is a little harder to imagine. We were married in our living room by Pastor Chris, with her family joining on Zoom during COVID. And when Jess's business took off, I left consulting and I supported her while she led her business to grow tenfold in just 4 years. We set up and grew out of warehouses in Northbrook. We sell in all 50 states. We've got 3 brick and mortar stores and 100 employees. Congratulations. The business is Piglet in Bed, by the way, and if you're looking for bedding, sheets, or pajamas. But beyond Piglet, I've served on the boards of Reform for Illinois and Open Lands, and I lead the Village Environmental Commission, where right now I'm helping organize the fight to wean Winnetka off of coal power. Katie Skelly and Marcus Wedner. Because my green values have deep roots. For me, sustainability is the lens through which I see the world. Look, I was 12 when the towers fell. I was 14 when we invaded Iraq. I was 17 when Al Gore shared his inconvenient truth, now the most pressing reality, and 20 when the global financial system collapsed. My lifetime is witness to the unsustainable policymaking, gridlock, and narcissism of short-term thinking, which, by the way, has led directly to the election of Donald Trump. Every decision I will make for you in Springfield will be grounded in sustainability of the environment, of the atmosphere, of the water, yes, but of our society and our economy and our democracy, too. We're going to plan for 100 years, not just 5 ahead of us. I believe campaign finance, ethics, voting reforms, these are table stakes for Democrats. Every day that we don't act on these is a day voters will trust us less to act on the things we care about. You're here. And I know how to fight. In 2020, I worked with local students led by Katie Scullion's daughter, Grace, to organize the largest march in Winnetka since Martin Luther King Jr. visited us in 1965. When migrants were bused to Evanston and Wilmette, I worked with local organizers to get active, raise money, and advocate for new arrivals. And I work hard to elect Democrats. This you already know. I bring to this campaign a heart for public service, a mind trained in the private sector, the grit and the conviction of an organizer. And you know that I will call every phone, I will knock every door, I will lift every rock to get, how many kids do we have here today? To get shit done for Illinois. Now, this is not going to be the establishment campaign, but that is okay. Honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. This is going to be the grassroots campaign. This is going to be the movement campaign. With your help, we're going to knock the doors. We're going to move from living room to living room. But I've also got some great news. So I'm delighted to share our first major endorsement with you tonight. And it is from a woman who taught us all how to fight, who is the model for progress and representation. Friends, our campaign has been endorsed by Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky. We're a free people still. We live in a free country still. Self-government is not our birthright or our pastime. It's our responsibility. It's what we do in the morning. Democracy is the work we have to do to pass intact this golden inheritance that we share on to Max and Jack and to their kids. And it's work. Sometimes it's joyful. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's heartbreaking, but it's always, always worth the fight. And with your help, with your support, I promise you, friends, I am ready for that fight. So what do you say? Are you ready for the fight? Are you ready for the fight? Let's go win this thing. Thank you so much.